Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Dynasty Drip today. We're going to be going over some guys I'm willing to overpay for in Dynasty Fantasy Football right now. Some of these are overpays, some of them are buy high. You can call it whatever you want, but at times I think paying a slightly high price for a guy that's maybe been underperforming or just has become available for trade is something that in the end can bring dividends to your Dynasty team. If you like what you hear today and you're new to the channel, please hit like, hit subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We need each and every one of you guys to do that, so I appreciate you for watching. First guy I want to talk about today is going to be Rome Odunze. Now, he is wide receiver 19 on the year, 31 catches, 473, and 5 TDs so far. And I think for Rome Odunze, maybe there's a tiny buy window after his terrible game. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a buy low opportunity or anything. This is an overpay episode. But when it comes to Rome Odunze, I like the connection he has with Caleb. I think he is the future of that wide receiver pass catching room along with Colston Loveland. We'll see what happens with DJ Moore. Maybe he gets moved. But just in general, Odunze has been very good. And I think he is slightly attainable right now for the right sort of price. For me, a potential trade for Odunze could look something like this. Breece Hall in a mid-second. I mean, for Rome Odunze, let's say you have Breece Hall. You're trying to retool a little bit for your team. Obviously, you're going to have to throw something on top of that, as Rome Odunze is not some cheap option you're going to be able to acquire. But I think in the end, he is a building block for your Dynasty team, and I would be willing to pay to acquire that right now. I did want to talk about a running back for this because I think every year there's a couple guys I'm willing to go acquire. Last year, if you wanted to go get Barkley, Derrick Henry, some guys that could potentially win you your league, it was worth it to get there. And I think James Cook is one of those guys right now. He's just having that sort of year. He's RB6 on the year, 867 yards, 7 TDs. Not super involved in the receiving game, but, he's just been so good, and they've just been feeding him so much, and I don't really think that's going to change for the rest of the season right now. And James Cook is a weird one. Like, for as good as he's playing, I don't necessarily know if he's being valued as much as someone as high as him really could be. He's not going to have like the dominance Barkley had last year. But in general, I think there's some trades that would be willing and worth it for your team if you are trying to win games right now. And this is something, assuming this is a late second, can we trade Travion Henderson in a late second to get James Cook? Now, I understand KTC is saying this isn't an overpay, but I think in general, people are still going to value Travion a lot. They're going to value their picks, and they might be undervaluing James Cook slightly when it comes to his potential value to a contending team. And he's one of those guys where you need players like this if you want to win your Dynasty League. And sometimes you got to pay up, and that can mean trading your rookie running back who you were super high on to go get a guy that really could push your team over the edge moving forward this year. Next one I want to talk about is Nico Collins. He's just underperformed a little bit. I think a lot of this has to do with the Texans' just offense in general, mostly their offensive line. I don't really think it's been like the position players in general, but Nico Collins, wide receiver 36, only 33 catches, 414 yards, 3 TDs. He's missed some time, obviously, with the concussion and some injuries, but Nico, to me, I think could just rise back up as people kind of remember the superstar he could be. He really is still just the best offensive weapon they have. I mean, Jaden Higgins is fine, Noel's fine, Kirk is fine, Schultz is fine, Woody Marks is fine, but it's Nico Collins is the guy in that offense, and I'd be willing to overpay to acquire him for my team. What could that look like? Now, I'm using KTC, obviously no promises here. I think throwing in a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson so they feel like they're still getting some usable piece this year. And then I'm going to throw a first and a second to go get him. It's just the kind of trade that you got to do if you want to get these studs, and you have to be willing to overpay. I would also be willing to trade 2 late firsts for Nico Collins if that's the type of deal you're looking to trade as well. Just because Nico might be someone who is attainable now, where I just don't think at the beginning of the year or during the off season he's going to be a guy you can trade for. And just kind of going on the Nico Collins train here, I want to talk about his quarterback, CJ Stroud, as a guy I'd be willing to overpay for. Now, be wary of the phrase overpay here. I don't think we're paying CJ Stroud off-season 2 years ago numbers where he was like QB2, QB3 or anything. But CJ Stroud is a very good pocket passer when it comes to the NFL. And I think he's a very good NFL quarterback who's going to be around. Maybe he has some sort of career like Jared Goff or something. I just think he has a situation right now where his offensive line is so bad that we are kind of forgetting how good CJ Stroud can be when he has time. Now, he's had some good games recently, kind of reminded the kind of thrower he can be for your fantasy team here. And so for me, what does a trade for CJ Stroud look like? If I'm rebuilding, retooling, whatever you want to call it, just trying to shift some of my value into quarterback, can we move someone like Kyren Williams, put a pick on top of that to go attack CJ Stroud, who in a super flex league is still just an asset I want to go get for my team. I love having quarterbacks. I will not devalue them. I want them on my team. I've been in the position when I don't have quarterbacks on my team, and it's the worst feeling on the planet in a super flex league to have to cycle through bad quarterbacks, guys who aren't starting, guys who are getting hurt, guys who are getting benched. It's not the way I want to play fantasy football in a super flex format. And if I can go get someone like CJ Stroud to solidify my QB room because he's maybe viable right now because he's having an off year, I'm going to take advantage of that and go get it. And the last player I want to talk about is going to be Zay Flowers. Before we get into Zay Flowers, if you guys made it this far, please hit subscribe. Drop me a comment, some guys you are buying in your Dynasty leagues right now as well. But Zay Flowers, 46 catches is nothing to scoff at. Wide receiver 29 on the year. 550 yards, all fairly good stats, but this has come mostly without Lamar, and I think that's shown by only the one receiving touchdown for Zay Flowers this year. He will be the number one pass catcher on that offense moving forward in Lamar's career. Right now, he's going to share some time with Likely and Mark Andrews, but he is the most athletic player on the outside of that offense if you don't count Lamar. And then obviously Derrick Henry is more of an internal running. He's just not the same player, right, as Zay Flowers. So for me, Zay Flowers is someone who, if you are having late picks in this upcoming draft, you're a playoff team, you're a contending team, can we move a late first and a late second to go get Zay Flowers, a much safer asset, only 25 years old. You got 5 years of Zay Flowers, man. Like, this is the kind of trade you make when you have the teams you can depend on to put up points and are going to be playoff teams. This is not a all-in sort of move for Zay Flowers. He is young enough that he's going to be on your team for years to come, and this is a safe move that you can go and get it. But in general, I appreciate you guys tuning in for our overpay show here. I'm not one that shies away from overpaying for a player. I think an overpay today is an underpay tomorrow. May seem a little too simplified. It might be a saying, but in general, it's a move that can happen and work for your Dynasty team. And I've seen it happen year after year. I'm not afraid to go attack guys I think can potentially grow in value or return to value because of injury like Lamar, or just bad offensive line play like the two Texans guys here. But just as a quick reminder, we got Rome Odunze, James Cook, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, and CJ Stroud as players we're attacking as buy opportunities right now in your Dynasty leagues. If you guys have any questions about trades going down in your leagues, any trades for your specific teams, make sure to comment below. I'll hit you back as well. Also, we do Friday live streams, start sits, flex options, Dynasty questions, anything you guys need to help win your games. But thanks for tuning in to Dynasty Drip. I am Sam. Make sure to hit subscribe and like the video. All of that really helps me so much, and I appreciate you guys for watching.